Getting it in, getting it in, getting it in. Say what's up to Unc real quick. You know what I mean? Say what's up to Unc. What's up, Unc? Alright. So yeah, gotta say what's up. Gotta say what's up to Unc. I don't want to say hungover, but definitely you know you know those days when you work out, you drank the day before, and you're like, oh man. Gotta go through the motions though. Gotta go through the motions. So yesterday was dope. Went to LA Fashion Week. That was nice. Went to LA Fashion Week. For y'all that didn't see, it is on the page, man. So make sure y'all tap in. And I'm gonna give this a little bit before I really start getting into it, because a lot of times what they do is you know, the following thing starts taking a little bit of time. You know what I mean? But it was cool because we got to build up. I mean, normally I don't know if I've had like 30 people watching at the same time. But yesterday was cool because there was a couple of points where I saw, I was like, okay, it's like 30, 40 people watching, you know what I mean? And, but we definitely want to sustain that, you know, so we can get you into places with us, right? For those who go to events. Oh, man, I'm having trouble talking, man. I just be chilling today, but I got up to work out anyway. Because, you know, I'm a G like that. So, but yeah, and then I'm gonna share this actually on my Facebook as well. So yeah, you know, LA Fashion Week, it was cool. Honestly, like, it was way smaller. I did one in 2019. If you watch the video, you can hear me telling everybody like, yeah, you know, I shot the, you know, the 2019 one, and like, you know, I was in there with HBO last time. You know what I mean? Like, it was way smaller than last time. Last time it was huge. It was at Los Globos, I believe, downtown, and it was a massive shoot, and you know, met a lot of cool people, and like I said, I was in there shooting next to HBO, so you know, it was a lot of fun, and this one was a lot of fun too. It was more intimate, you know, it was more, you know, together and everything like that. So I did like it, you know, got to talk to some cool people, and just, I mean, I love fashion, man. Actually, after shooting that Los Globos one is when I really started to appreciate fashion a little bit more, and that's when I also started to really, I feel, show my swag in how I dress, you know. You know, before, yeah, you know, I wore some stuff or whatever, and probably just some, you know, some shirts and some jeans and, you know, whatever cool shirt I could find or whatever, but I didn't really step into my fashion, into my colors, into, you know what I mean, into making things look, you know, better and different. And, you know, I don't like chop clothes or nothing like that. You know, that's you know, beyond me. That's designers and all that stuff. But, you know, I can pick out great outfits and stuff like that. Something that's daring, something that people are gonna say, oh well, man, wow, that's amazing. You know, but not too over the top, man. And so that's one thing that fashion has taught me. And so I'm happy that you know, I kind of got into that world a little bit more. But make sure you share this this live, man. Share this live. I got 0 people watching right now. Normally it should be more than that, you know. But it is, what's today? Today's Saturday. Oh shit, you guys might not even be up. I gotta figure out what's the best time to go live on YouTube. Like, when's the most people watching? Right now, you guys probably sleep like a motherfucker. I should be sleep like a motherfucker. But we here now, you know what I mean? I'm going to the gym. I'm like, why am I forcing myself to go to the gym right now? But I already started drinking my pre-workout. I gotta go grocery shopping, so, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, man, y'all tap in. It's, you know, we got it going on, bro. Like, you know, tapped in with everybody. I will say there was this girl that performed yesterday. She was cool. She was a cool ass chick. I ain't gonna lie. Like, and I don't feel bad, but like, I'm like, why didn't her people tell her she ain't ready to sing in front of the people that was there yesterday? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just gas women up because they pretty, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Tell them the truth. Women, they'll respect you for it, actually. They'll respect you more if you tell them the truth. But, you know, I mean, everybody gassed her up because she looked like Taylor Swift. And I was like, but I thought she was, I think, as a person, she was cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? Very, you know, great energy, you know. So she had good energy, very bright energy is the word I was looking for, and just a great person. However, again, you know, this is the entertainment industry, and you know, it can come out and, you know, sing in front of people like Ty Hollywood and, you know, Justin O, which I don't know who he is, but obviously is a very important person. You know, you have brand deals out there like Smart Water, you know, things like that. Like, you know, just make sure your fucking shit sounds great, man. Like that's one of the biggest things, and that's what Mike TV is about. You know, it's not about putting people down, you know, because their music isn't there yet. It's about development. It's about, you know, helping the artists, you know, to develop and telling them the truth. You know, so many times like people either they lie to you or they gas you up. You know what I mean? And I just don't feel like that's the way to help artists. You know, just be truthful and say, hey, look, you know, you need to work on this, you need to work on that, you know. And that doesn't mean you need to be an asshole about it. And I see so many people, you know, are like, oh man, your music sucks, or, you know what I mean, or, you know, let's talk about your whack ass music, or, you know, whatever crap, you know, that they can come up with to try to make themselves seem better. And it's like, you know, why don't we talk about your whack ass music? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, don't do that to artists. Don't do that to artists. You know what I mean? Like, and so, you know, it's not fair to them. You know what I mean? It's not fair to them for you know, when they're trying to feel better about their music, they want to do some more in their music, and you got people telling them that their music is whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, sometimes people need to hear that. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes people need to hear that the music is trash. But for the most part, man, like, try to do, you know, criticism constructively. You know, tell people, hey, listen, you know, the music's not there yet. You know, the sound, like, you know, you really need to practice on your performance, like, blah, blah. And if they're a true artist, they will take that in, because that's what, you know, you have to take in notes in order to expel what everybody wants to hear from you. You know, that singer in particular. Thank you for joining us so much. Hit that subscribe button. We was just at LA Fashion Week yesterday. You know what I'm saying? If you're not subscribed, subscribe. We was at LA Fashion Week, out there with Ty Hollywood, Justin O, Smart Water was in the building, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so what I was talking about was, every time I start promoting, they're like, no, nigga, I gotta get off this camera. But no, so don't talk shit about artists. You know what I mean? Like, they music. It's like, if artists need development, just tell them they need development. Tell them where they need to be better. You know, tell them, hey, listen, this is where you can develop more as an artist. That singer yesterday in particular, like I said, where she was great at is she was very personable. She was pretty. She was inviting, you know, like, so she was, you know, she wasn't like, you know, like a snob or nothing like that. I thought she had a great personality. Hey, what's going on? I thought she had a great personality. But when she got on a mic and started singing, I was like, fuck, dude. Like, you know, and I felt bad for her, because she was like, oh, it's a new song, and, you know, it's sad, and blah, 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 and, you know, this and that is about this, about getting cheated on. And I'm like, okay, that can be a great song. Like, I mean, shit, you know, I have songs about getting cheated on that, you know, or, you know, that. Anyway, so, yeah, I'm a singer. I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm a singer-songwriter. So, check me out, Mike Swagger, on Spotify. I don't have a lot of my singing up because I had to pull the album down, because I left the label, you know what I mean? And so now I'm trying to get the album put back up, and it's just, you know what I mean? It's a pain in my ass because I'm missing one edited part of my song or whatever, so I got to get in there. And anyway, it's a long story short. Yes, I'm a singer-songwriter, Mike Swagger, Vibrations, check that out. So anyway, my point is, you know, with Mike TV, you know, when we go out and we see these artists, man, we give our honest opinion, and I want you guys to give your honest opinion too. We don't tear down artists here. That's what we don't do. You know, so many people that want to, you know, so many, you know, influencers or podcasters or whatever, they want to tear down, people, and that's not what we're about. We're about giving them an honest opinion and saying, like, hey, listen, you know, you could have done better, and here's, you know, and so that singer yesterday, we were at LA Fashion Week, and again, she was very nice. inviting, open to talk, all that stuff. And she was a pretty chick. And so that's great. All that stuff's great. But then make sure you also can sing. You know what I mean? Make sure you actually practice. Make sure you got people around you that's going to tell you the truth about your performance. Because if they don't tell you the truth about your performance, you go out there in front of people like Ty Hollywood, which I don't know if you guys know, big boy on the radio. I don't know where everybody's from. Tap in the comments where you from. So I know you guys from LA. Hey, what's going on? So, but you go out there and you're performing in front of Ty Hollywood, which is Big Boy's DJ, Big Boy on the radio. You know what I mean? Huge fucking radio DJ across the entire world. And your singing is just like subpar. You know what I mean? Like, and again, I'm not trying to break down that artist, but it's like, you really have to work on your live performance. You really got to work on it. You really got to work on capturing the crowd. And I just feel like it wasn't there. And we missed the Tori K performance, which we'll look her up. But we missed her performance because I thought my damn meter was running out and I didn't want to get a ticket, so I left too. What we do is we go to a bunch of events in LA, and then hopefully, maybe Chicago someday. But we go to like a bunch of different events as VIPs, and we're growing this community because I want to start inviting you guys out to shows. So the more people we get to subscribe, the more access I'll get. I'll be able to give out like VIP tickets to like celebrity events, like LA Fashion Week, BET Awards, things like that. So you guys are it. Like, you guys are the community, right? And if you're artists, definitely follow me because I'll have opportunities for you. Ain't no pay to play opportunities. Just follow me, man. And if I like your stuff, if you're doing good, I'll shoot you an opportunity. I don't do all that pay to play gatekeeping crap. You know what I mean? Like, I like real art. I like music, and I believe it should be seen. And I feel like part of the reason why music is struggling right now is because everybody wants to try to charge every artist out the Richter scale for everything, every little thing, they're trying to squeeze the artist. And I'm like, how the hell is the artist supposed to make money if all they're doing is paying all the time? I get it. I've been doing this for over 10 years. And so I get that, you need to pay for things as an artist, and it is an investment, and I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on my art. However, you know what I mean? Like, motherfucker got to get a break somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, damn. So here we go. This is what Mike TV is about. It's about giving people a break, artists a break, and but also being able to give fans like yourself access. You know what I mean? Appreciate you so much, deer in the headlight. You know what I mean? Appreciate you so much. But it's also about giving fans access like yourself to these behind the scenes situations, to get these tickets to, come out and rock with your favorite artist, whether it's me or whether it's whoever's on the ticket that day. It doesn't matter. I don't feel no type of way about it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, look, I like you, Mike Swagger, but I'm fucking Jeezy performing right now, you know what I mean? So I'm on here for Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? Like, no problem. That's okay. That's what it's about. It's about collectively raising the energy, raising the vibrations, and giving artists real feedback from fans, but in a positive way. I don't want nobody on my channel that's like, oh, you suck, you're trash, you're a piece of shit. Like, we don't do that here. We give people real feedback on how they can get better. And that way, all collectively together, Mike TV, my community, we can help change music. Think about that. Think about all your streamers and all that stuff like that. Who's trying to change music? Yeah, they'll get the, rappers on their podcast, sure, right? They'll get all the, people on their podcast and, talk about their single or whatever. But like, who actively is trying to bring up the vibrations and change music? We are. Not me, we. You know what I'm saying? So make sure I subscribe. I'm about to go hit the gym and everything like that. We do have an event today. I'm going to be out there with Snoop Dogg's family, Young Music. So he's got an event, and it's down here in downtown Los Angeles. We're going to be out there shooting for him and getting some of his behind the scenes. He's always on red carpets. I met Usher through him, Swiss Beats, like all kinds of stuff. This guy is very well known, hanging out with Taylor Swift, all kinds of stuff. So don't miss it. We're going to be hanging out with him today. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you soon. Peace.